Welcome to On the Origin of Legendary Species, a series dedicated to the study of creatures born from myth, folklore, fantasy, and imagination. Each episode, we examine a single legendary being, its origins, its traits, its enemies, and the cultural forces that shaped its legend. From ancient gods and dragons to cryptids, monsters, and icons of modern fiction, this is a natural history of the unreal. The Chupacabra, the blood drinker of the Americas. Across rural farmland and moonlit pastures, something stalks the edges of human settlement. It leaves bodies drained, puncture wounds precise, fear spreading faster than certainty. Livestock are discovered intact, yet lifeless. No struggle, no consumption, only the unsettling suggestion that something fed without feeding. Tonight, we examine the Chupacabra, one of the modern world's most infamous legendary predators. The Chupacabra first emerged in reported sightings during the mid-1990s in Puerto Rico, before rapidly spreading across Latin America, Mexico, and the southern United States. Its name translates directly to goat sucker, a term born from early reports of livestock found, exsanguinated under mysterious circumstances, and like ancient mythological beasts shaped across centuries. The Chupacabra represents a distinctly modern phenomenon. It emerged in an era of global media, televised horror, and increasing distrust of institutional explanations. This makes the Chupacabra less a relic of ancient superstition and more a living example of myth formation in real time. Within cryptozoological taxonomy, the creature occupies the rare category, a hematophagous terrestrial predator whose existence is debated but whose impact on rural folklore is undeniable. It is not simply a monster. It is a case study in how fear spreads faster than proof. Physical traits and variants descriptions of the Chupacabra diverge significantly, suggesting either multiple interpretations of the same phenomenon, or a legend evolving as it migrates between culture. The earliest reports describe a bipedal reptilian entity, hairless, with leathery skin, glowing eyes, and a row of spines running down its back. Witnesses often attributed intelligence and unnatural agility to this form, describing movements more reminiscent of a primate or extraterrestrial than a terrestrial animal. Later sightings, particularly in North America, shifted toward a quadrupedal canine appearance. This variant appears emaciated, hairless, and distorted, with elongated limbs, visible ribs, and pronounced fangs. Despite their differences, both forms share a defining behavioral signature, victims exhibiting precise puncture wounds and an apparent absence of blood at the scene. The consistency of this detail, regardless of physical description, is what solidified the creature's identity. The Chupacabra is consistently described as nocturnal, favoring isolated environments where livestock are present but human observation is limited. Its attacks appear efficient and targeted rather than chaotic. Enclosures are breached without obvious struggle. Victims often show minimal defensive trauma, suggesting either rapid incapacitation or an ability to induce paralysis through fear or physiological means. This has led some theorists to interpret the Chupacabra not as a dominant predator, but as a specialist feeder, optimized for stealth, speed, and low-risk extraction of resources. Unlike apex predators that assert territorial control, the Chupacabra appears transient, opportunistic, and highly avoidant of confrontation. In ecological terms, it behaves less like a wolf and more like a parasite operating at the edge of visibility. The credibility of Chupacabra sightings varies widely, yet the emotional consistency among witnesses is striking. Reports often describe overwhelming unease before any visual confirmation, a sense of being watched, unnatural silence among animals, or livestock exhibiting distress without visible threat. These psychological elements mirror encounters with many legendary predators, suggesting that perception of threat can be as culturally constructed as the creature itself. In isolated agricultural communities, unexplained livestock death carries economic and emotional weight. The Chupacabra becomes a narrative vessel capable of containing that anxiety. Many alleged Chupacabra specimens have later been identified as coyotes, dogs, or foxes suffering from severe mange. Disease can drastically alter an animal's appearance, producing hairless, gaunt forms that appear almost alien. Additionally, scavenging behavior can create post-mortem wounds that mimic puncture injuries, reinforcing supernatural interpretations. Yet not all cases are easily explained. Some reports involve patterns of livestock death that resist straightforward predatory analysis, leaving a residue of uncertainty that sustains the legend. The Chupacabra persists precisely because the explanation is never universally satisfying. The Chupacabra's rise coincided with increased exposure to horror cinema, extraterrestrial speculation, and conspiracy culture. Some observers have noted visual similarities between early eyewitness descriptions and creatures depicted in science fiction media of the time. This interplay between media imagery and eyewitness testimony demonstrates how modern folklore is shaped not only by environment, but by shared visual language. The Chupacabra quickly transcended rural legend, becoming a recurring figure in television, film, literature, and digital culture. It is no longer confined to geography. It exists wherever the idea of it is known. As a legendary species, the Chupacabra represents more than an unknown predator. It embodies anxiety surrounding technology, culture change, rural vulnerability, and the limits of scientific explanation. In an age where the natural world feels increasingly mapped and categorized, the Chupacabra introduces uncertainty, a reminder that mystery adapts alongside knowledge. It is both a predator and a metaphor for the persistence of the unknown. The Chupacabra thrives not because it is proven, but because it is narratively sustainable. It occupies the precise intersection where fear, plausibility, and imagination overlap. Too strange to dismiss entirely, too modern to feel mythic, too widespread to ignore. As a legendary species, its continued existence depends not on biology, but on belief, repetition, and cultural need. Whether misunderstood animal, constructed myth, or something yet unidentified, the Chupacabra continues to hunt, not livestock, but certainty itself. Some predators leave tracks, others leave questions. And in the study of legendary species, the Chupacabra reminds us that the unknown is never truly extinct. You've been listening to On the Origin of Legendary Species. If you enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing and exploring our collections, from dragons and cryptids to gods, demons, and creatures of science fiction. New episodes are released weekly, each examining a single legendary species in depth. Until next time, remember, legends do not disappear, they evolve.